Welcome, my friends, to the Bob and Brad podcast. My name is Mike Keenitz. I'm a physical therapist assistant who's worked with Bob and Brad the last 10 years. Today, I am doing this podcast solo, and our guest is Jordan. You may know her from our workout videos on our YouTube channel. If you're listening to the audio version of this, you may have heard her in the past talking about ketogenic diet with us. Jordan's background, she has a bachelor's in exercise science, a master's in nutrition, and she's a certified personal trainer. And today we are going to talk about ways to boost your immune system naturally through food and possibly supplementation. So stay tuned. Do you want to elaborate on vitamin D, which you were talking about a little bit there?
Yeah. So let's dig into vitamin D. I want to preface this with I'm not a vitamin D expert. There are people that literally devote their entire careers to researching this vitamin because it's so powerful. So please just I'm going to give you the information I know based upon my background, research I've done, people I follow, my personal experience with it, but just know that there really isn't any good solid conclusions on this either. So, but I want to talk a little bit about how much to take, should you supplement, should you not, that whole thing. So first of all, do I supplement with vitamin D? Yes, I do. However, in the summer months, I spend quite a bit of time outside. Basically, whenever I'm not working and I'm able to be outside, I'm outside. So then I don't take vitamin D. I might take it once every 2 weeks if I go through a stretch of not getting outside or if it's really cloudy and crappy weather. But in the wintertime, I do take it. I used to always take 5,000 IUs a day. It's actually measured in international units. But I recently had my blood levels drawn, and I'm going to talk about that, but mine was a little bit higher than really necessary. So I am planning to back that amount down come this fall, winter, and not take as much.
Is vitamin D one of the vitamins that you don't actually typically urinate out if you get in excess?
Yeah. So it's fat soluble. So we actually store it. Well, we store it in our fat. So any excess we can't get rid of. So, you would have to be supplementing with quite a large quantity, I think, to actually build up toxicity in your body, but it can cause some other problems that aren't extreme that we just maybe don't even realize are attributed to that. So,
right. So I should say it's more important because we're in the northern hemisphere and we have winter and stuff. So it's more important up here during winter because, when it's real cold out, you and I probably don't go out a whole bunch. And if we are, this much of our skin is showing to the sun.
Yeah. And I don't think you can really get too much synthesis there when you're completely.
No. If you're in the southern U.S. states, you're probably fine, but.
Right. If you're in the southern U.S. states and you're getting outside, I think they say usually 15 minutes outside, skin exposed. Not naked, but short sleeves, shorts, you have to have sun or skin exposed without sunscreen actually. Because that sunscreen blocks vitamin D production. So if you get outside for at least 15 minutes every day in the direct sunlight, you're probably pretty covered.
Yeah.
So
go
ahead.
Is vitamin D good for anything else besides your immune health?
Yes. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. There's a lot of things. Some of the main top things that it's good for, bone health. So vitamin D actually promotes calcium absorption, and it's definitely necessary for healthy bones and teeth. So actually vitamin D deficiency through research has been shown to cause osteoporosis or be one of the factors. So super important for healthy bones. Right. Mood. That's why so many of us up here in the northern hemisphere get so depressed in the winter, honestly. Maybe it's because it's -20 out, but I think it has a ton to do with the fact that many of us are walking around vitamin D deficient.
Yeah. If people don't live in an area like this, it's called seasonal depression.
Yep. Yeah. And it's real.
Yeah. I'm not depressed during winter, but I'm way more energetic spring through fall than I am winter. And it takes a little more oomph to make me go outside once it's the winter months.
I hear you.
Vitamin D, you said it's fat soluble, right? So don't you normally want to have it with fat when you take it?
Yeah. So usually that vitamin D is one where I just tell people like when you eat breakfast, take your vitamin D,
Okay. Right.
simple kind of thing. But yeah, that is correct. Um, what are they talking about? Oh, is it good for anything else? Yeah, mood. Low levels have been linked to depression and anxiety. So it actually helps to synthesize a hormone called serotonin in our body, which is literally like a happy chemical. It makes you feel happy. So
Yeah.
don't we all want to do that? So and then cardiovascular health too, so protective against heart disease, hypertension, things like that. So you're not just taking vitamin D for boosting your immune system, you're taking it for a lot of other functions in the body as well. So
Sure. So do people take vitamin K and D together?
um yeah, so that's a thing for
So
sure.
do you want to elaborate what vitamin K is?
Yeah, so vitamin K, that's actually another fat soluble vitamin. So like vitamin D, you could take too much K. It gets stored in the fat. We don't urinate excess out. So vitamin K, there's, to not bore you, but there's two types of vitamin K, K1, K2, if you've heard of that. K1 is found in like our leafy greens. Less bioavailable actually than K2. K2 is found more in animal sources and fermented foods. Actually, that term comes up again. And actually, our gut bacteria also produce vitamin K2 in our body as well. So, but some supplement manufacturers will actually pair vitamin K2. Well, it should be K2 because it's more bioavailable with vitamin D to help because they kind of work synergistically in the body. So vitamin D directs the absorption of calcium from your intestines into the blood. But then once it's in the blood, K takes it into your bones to be utilized. So it helps vitamin K, vitamin D, calcium, they all kind of need each other, if that makes sense.
Sure. So what foods if people don't want to supplement? Okay, so I know dairy, but what like if someone is like vegan or vegetarian, what would they do?
For K2?
For D or K2?
Oh, okay. So D,
I actually don't know.
here's the problem. So I didn't really mention this in the beginning, but vitamin D, there's actually two forms of that too. D3 is our naturally occurring form. That's like when you go sit out in the sun and you're going to produce it, like that's the form.
Okay.
So that's the form your body knows. But then there's a synthetic, like plant-based form called, or that's D2. So that's really the only source, that would be for somebody vegan. But I just need the vegans out there to know that the bioavailability of that is pretty poor in our body.
Okay, sure.
So it is what it is. With K, it's the same thing. K2, those are going to be our animal sources, but you can get it from fermented food. So vegans could do some vegan source fermented food, but K1 is from the leafy greens, but again, that's not as bioavailable.
Sure. So with the bioavailability, it's more because it's a plant being digested by a human, and then there's fibers and other toxins that plants create, which we can't digest and absorb at all, right?
Correct.
Did
Yes.
I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it.
Do you have a more elaborate way, or is that good enough?
No, I think that's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.